Welcome back to another video. So today, instead of doing a gameplay video, I decided to read through the newest patch note. The game is in a relatively good state, so it's time to change that so you have more stuff to complain about. God damn. First is the patron god about Yggdra. Is that a typo? I believe Yggdrasil isn't spelled like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Yggdrasil is spelled in a different way. But first one is Odin. But he now have bind to Yggdrasil. I think it's the first god who got a bind to Yggdrasil. So congrats to all the Yggdrasil fan out there. After your allies have slain 15 enemies or after you trigger slay 9 times, get a promotion reward once per battle. So now you can play around slay mechanic, but the slay mechanic is very risky to play around. I'll explain more later. Next is Babylon, Tiamat. The new one costs 0 gold. So I think it's fair for her because she already have a difficult condition, and giving her 1 gold doesn't change. Making it from 1 gold to 0 doesn't really change that much during the somewhat late to mid to late game. Enlil is now has unlocked on turn 3. So, people been crying about how Enlil on turn 1 is a war crime. This fixed the entire situation. It's extremely frustrating to go against someone who Enlil on turn 1, so it should have been like this the entire from the beginning. Gods that have a free power need something to delay that thing. So it's delayed to turn 3 now. You can't really pop it out on turn 1 and get a free win during the first 3 turns anymore. Next is Hades, from 4 times to 3 times. I think he's still very bad. Now, even though not only does he cost 1 gold, if you need Karen, you need to put your entire team with Karen, so in order to make him useful. Because if you're only doing this for a temporary amount of tempo, it's still very bad. And most of the time, I would rather buy the 1 cost spell that give +2/+1 to the entire team. Yeah, it's really bad. It costs 1 gold, by the way. Not worth it to lose that 1 gold for some temporary tempo. Next is Olympus. I think they're nerfing fire. Attack encounter burn. So they reducing the burn duration. Yeah, I kind of agree with this because most of the time the burn duration doesn't really matter. It's either too much, and we rarely notice about the burn duration, right? Most of the time we just die when we got burned. So, but making it from 4, 8, 16 to 3 is a lot actually. Oh, burn is going to be so difficult to play now because the Chimera doesn't guarantee that everyone will be burned during the first few hits. When you play burn, you need to have someone that... No, I want to talk about Typhon first. So, Typhon now also burns stuff from target adjacent enemies to all enemies. So I believe that the first rank up, he will do longer burn, and the second rank up, he will burn all enemies. This is very bad. I think Typhon is still really bad because it is extremely difficult to get a golden to rank up a 5-star unit twice, making it a golden 5-star unit. Even with Enlil, you don't really see it often. So burn is gonna be very difficult. So because when you play burn, not only do you need unit that can do burn, you need units that can increase that burn damage, and you need a bunch of units that can allow you to get even more burn, give them more survivability. So the weakness is that they do not have any stat, right? Usually they only have like 20 to 30 stat at maximum. So if you miss one burn, That means the last unit who somehow managed to dodge the burn is very likely to be able to solo the entire comp. It happens a lot when I go against burn comp. Next is Yggdrasil again. Oh, this is about another typo, I believe. The new Valkyrie now give +2/+1 to all the Valkyrie whenever they trigger the slay. She's still super bad because she doesn't have any form of reborn or resummon. The max amount of Valkyrie you can have on the board is around 3. It's almost impossible to get 4 on the board, and on average, you will be having only 1 or 2 Valkyrie on the battlefield, which means you get +2/+2. And moreover, if you kill something, then you get a tiny little bit of stat. If you don't, she's basically a useless character with very little stat on the board. It's so the condition to scale is very difficult, and you don't even scale that much. That's just +1/+1. And let's say you have 3 Valkyrie on the board. That's +3 or +3/+3 or something similar. It's still very bad. Not recommended. Skadi, oh. The new version, every time he slay one unit, he gains +3/+3 permanently, and slay 2 becomes double. It's still the same, double this attack and attack immediately. Oh, I love this buff. For a 4-star unit, he might be a little bit too strong, because if you compare with that shark guy in Kami Realm, the shark guy only gained +2/+2, while this guy gained +3/+3 permanently. If you can somehow manage to pair him up with a Frigga, and he basically become a cannonball, just go zoom zoom, and then everything dies. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of there will be some comps that play around this guy, that double the attack. And keep in mind that the double attack does go away after the combat. It is not a permanent thing. So yeah, I think I really like this is one of the units that I like in the Slay department. Most of Slay units are very bad. Thor have a strong AoE. Thor is strong, but he doesn't really rely on Slay mechanics. He went in, he doing big AoE attack. So you don't really pair him up with other Slay synergy. You use him as an AoE unit. Yeah, the Slay synergy is really bad right now, so maybe it's just some form of the tempo unit you grab during the mid game, and then at late game you still sell everything away and kind of move into a more self-damage Yggdrasil, like the traditional one. Next up is Kami. So Saruta Hiko, he now, whenever an ally attacks, give all allies +1 attack permanently. Conceal allies gain +2/+2. Also, so he doesn't really buff health for unit that doesn't have conceal anymore, but with conceal it's still the same. So maybe it's they're trying to take him out from the neutral or menagerie version. He now has to be played around with within the Kami realm, which I think is fine, because most of the time when I play Kami, I would always buy the one ball eyeball guy that give everyone conceal when he dies. So it doesn't matter much for Kami realm. So, and it's a lot more difficult to play this guy as a pure tempo unit in the neutral. You can't just randomly grab him and he will carry the entire game anymore. You need a little bit more setup for him to work. Raijin cannot attack when a Kami ally attacks. Deal damage to the target equal to this attack. 2/4 and unlimited. They similar to the guy before. She now only work within her Kami realm, which is very sad because she's one of my favorite units to pair up with Harmonia. But now she can't really do that anymore. So I don't think it affects the game that much, but it's a huge blow to my favorite comp. I think this patch is great so far, honestly. There's not really anything too broken that they invented. Scotty might be something, but I wouldn't say he reached a broken part. Oh, he is a new neutral unit. Tribal Flayer, double strike, attack, remove taunt, reborn, and lethal from a target, and safeguard. And then cleave and pierce. Oh, this is the ultimate anti-scam comp. Like, once in a while when you spend 15 minutes spinning around with your Babylon comp, and then the opponent just have that Shen Gong Bao with triple Infestor, and then everyone in your team just die to that Infestor going back over and over again. So this guy can somewhat counter that strat. Uh, I don't think Cleave and Pierce matter that much, so most of the, I think this guy worked best on tier 2. Double strike though. Yeah, it's a really nice addition for, I think Babylon can use it the most effectively, because Babylon can give the stat to anyone. They have some synergy around outside of the Babylon box as well. And here's the bug fix. And so that's about it. Yeah, I think it's a really decent patch. We don't talk about Senzo. So the burn apartment got hit quite hard, honestly. I think they need a unit that can both burn their enemy and increase the burn damage at the same time. Because right now, I think burn is very tricky to play. Hades is probably the same. Enlil is a great buff. You can't really end it on turn 1 anymore. Tiamat is fine. Odin is great. I think it's mostly I like the bind to Yggdrasil. I don't think the 9 times slay gonna affect that much. Maybe it's very difficult to play with the slay mechanic. If you kill something, great, you get an average amount of scaling. If you don't get the scaling, you don't get that stat, you lose in tempo, and then the moment you lose in tempo, you can barely kill anything. So it's a very difficult mechanic to play around. And also some typo here and there.